We bought the cheapest F80 M3 and we were completely restoring it. Our M3 currently has a ton of electrical issues and it has been stuck in limp mode. Last video, we weren't able to find out exactly what was the problem, but make sure you watch the end because in this video, I think we found the issue. It's day 2 of working on our F80 M3. We just found out that this one wire I'll put up on the screen is completely corroded. So on the Carfax, it did say there was a fire. I didn't believe it because the car looks fine. I couldn't tell any fire damage, but there could have been an engine fire at some point in time. This car was completely corroded. BMW put like hockey tape on it or something to try and fix it, and now we got another wire from a different BMW and we're going to put it on here to see if that fixes a lot of the DME problems. The DME is basically the whole power, the brain of the car basically, and it wasn't reading things right because the wire's cooked. So if we fix this wire, fixes all the issues, maybe we can drive the car and get it a limp mode. Okay guys, so we are fully taking this apart and soldering it and shit. Look at, they're laughing at me.
You want me to just tell you what it is?
Yeah, sure.
So your DME power supply cable is corroded. You're replacing it temporarily by just splicing it.
Okay. New wire, so I just cut this now.
Yeah.
Cut. Done. Damn, so you're literally like fiddling it together.
Yeah.
That's insane, dude. You literally just slide it in together like that. Put some electric tape over it. She's good, eh?
Yeah, this is like just a test run, right? We just want to make sure it's getting power flowing through the actual wires itself. And if we know it's good, then I come back, disconnect the battery again, make everything look pretty.
Because I believe the fire started right here. You can see by this charred connector, and you have some plastic that's melted back here. We're gonna have to check the rest of the wires because your DME is also right down there.
And we also have to replace this right here.
This is very temporary, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a temporary fix.
The splice.
So tomorrow we have to get this new wire at BMW, so we'll do that. And then later on we'll figure out this stuff too, and then maybe we can get it driving normally. So basically right now we have a little bit of an electrical issue on our hands. Not the worst thing, it's not the best thing. Doing that wire shit cleared up some of the codes. We got rid of like 5 different ones. The wire's not even on like the best, so we're gonna get a new wire, putting the intercooler back in, and then we might be driving it to a shop to get the electrical diagnosis. See if we can get this thing driving tomorrow, man. That'd be so sick. We'll see. We'll see. That's the goal. The first issue we found was a ton of corroded wires in the engine bay. This could definitely be causing the car to go in limp mode. So we've come to the conclusion we kind of need a wiring harness, so we're looking into getting some today. We got a quote for $2,000 on one of them, which is a little bit expensive, and I think you can get them for like 200 or 300 bucks online, so we'll see. But we're gonna put the GTR next to the M3 for the first time. Let me show y'all what I did to this thing. I was trying to install a custom steering wheel and I fully messed up the clock spring. So this thing's been out of commission for like a week. If anyone needs your steering wheel replaced, hit me up. I'll do it for you. This is my first time seeing them together. Yo, that's actually sick. Can't drive either of them right now, but at least we can look at them. All right, boys, we're going on a little hour road trip to pick up this wiring harness. Instead of $2,000 we got quoted, found one for 700 bucks. So maybe that'll get this M3 running. Let's go get this wiring harness. Let me show y'all what we got. Shit, where are we? We're here to pick up the wiring harness. I guess it looks like they have BMWs here, so.
We have fenders.
Oh, we can get the fenders too, right? Because right now it has M4 fenders on. All right, boys, we got the wiring harness shit that we need. All right, so now we have to fucking switch all these wires. How the hell are we gonna do this shit though?
Yeah, you wouldn't know, would you?
I'm a white collar. I'm a white collar.
Typical YouTube car guy. This guy drives the nice car, doesn't know how to work on the nice car.
All right, boys, so basically what we're gonna do, not me. I guess I'm not doing shit. So we are going to be taking off this intake manifold to get out of these wires, because a lot of these wires are corroded. So we already replaced this one that was completely cooked. Now we just have to get some of these. We're only gonna do some, and then hopefully, theoretically, all the voltage codes should go away, and then it should be out of limp mode potentially, and we should be able to drive it.
I wouldn't count on driving it tonight. We're gonna need coolant in the system after all the shit goes back on because it's very low.
Let's go get some coolant then, should we?
But we need to do a full coolant flush because we don't know what coolant's in there.
So we have to take off all this, the throttle body, to be able to get to the actual wires, to be able to take that out. We're doing hard work today. Hold on, we gotta make sure we're looking like we're doing some. We're getting one bolt off. I just cracked the coolant line. Fuck.
Your fucking cheapest North American F80 is gonna turn into the most expensive build F80 in North America.
And before we get into any work on the car, let me introduce you to my friend Kamal. This guy's worked on hundreds, if not thousands, of M3s and M4s of this gen, so he knows these cars to the ins and outs, and he's gonna really help us out a lot in this video.
I'm an S55 specialist, all right? Like, I've worked with these cars for years. I hope you guys take the DME out, no worries. New DME, yo, honestly, just about looking at this, I'm pretty sure you need a new one.
Yeah.
Straight up.
So a new DME and the wiring harness. that we got.
Okay, boys, so it is day 3 working on this car and getting it to drive. Let me go through what we have to do today. to hopefully get this car running. This right here is the DME, which is the brain of the car technically. So this car had previously been in a fire, an engine bay fire. So that got burnt up. The wires around it got burnt up as well. And that is why we think the car is throwing so many electrical codes. Anyways, we're taking this off, getting a new one, swapping it. We're putting our new wires in, and then hopefully today we should have that thing driving. All right guys, we're taking off the DME. And here is the DME. We're gonna go swap this thing out, put a new one back on there, and then switch out the wires, and this could fix the car theoretically. Now what we have to do is uninstall the old wiring harness, swap the DMEs, put everything back in place. Here's the engine bay with everything apart. Now this looks like a confusing mess, but to others this is as simple as connect the dots. We had all the parts taken out of the engine bay and just laying on the floor. Here's the back of the engine bay where we think it caught fire. You can see it burnt up a little bit. We're writing down what each of these wirings are and where they go to. So that way when we replace them, we'll remember exactly where they go. This looks insane, bro. The whole engine's literally like a part right now. All right, guys, Kamal pulled up and he's the F55 GOAT. Last time he pulled up and literally took apart the whole engine bay in like 10 minutes. So we're gonna take apart the wiring harness, swap the DMEs, and just like that, Kamal got to work. He wasted no time getting through everything. He didn't even need to label things. He already knew what every wire was for. He unbolted a ton of things, rebolted a ton of things. We thought we were able to do it right on the ground, but we needed a hoist. We've been hard, I've been hard at work doing this whole thing by myself tonight. We got the whole wiring harness out. Yeah, I mean, we just been fully completing this car tonight, just getting it done. Yeah, we're swapping the DMEs, all these wires swapped. See how it goes. It's been going pretty smoothly so far though. Yeah, as you guys can see, I'm all dirty, so I've clearly been doing all the work. And we're actually taking this shit onto the hoist. The thing with a DCT transmission, which means direct dual clutch transmission, is there's no actual neutral when there's no battery and shit. So what we have to do is basically, we have to pull a pin and then push it.
I gotta disconnect the cable. I'm gonna manually put it in neutral. There's no other way to do it.
Put her in neutral.
Yes, sir.
So now we're gonna push this all the way around the area and put it in the shop. I, by myself, will drop the transmission with my hand, and then we'll disconnect all the wires, then we can get the rest in, DME in, all assembled, and we moved it into the shop. We had to get it up on the hoist to be able to fully disconnect the wiring harness. There's one cable that goes right to the transmission, and we had to disconnect that by slightly dropping it.
You know what? I don't fucking work.
And of course, to get to that one connector, we had to take off all the heat shields, the exhaust. It wasn't as simple as it sounds.
One connector left.
Oh,
I think it's a lot fun. I think it's a lot fun.
Holy crap. Dude, that's insane. Kamal then started putting the new engine bay wiring harness back in the car, and it didn't take him very long. Kamal unwired and rewired the whole engine bay within an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, but honestly, I was super impressed. He did a fantastic job. We put it all back together, and it was time to get a start up on this car. Look at that, the new DME is going on. The old one was completely burnt. The wires were burnt. We got new wires in here. This guy did it literally in like an hour and a half. I don't fucking understand that shit. That's insane, bro. He rewired this whole engine bay within an hour and a half. This would take me months. All right, guys, little update. We've been hard at work, putting the exhaust back on now, and then I think we're gonna start it up. We got all the shit back in the engine. The whole car's rewired. We started this at 7 o'clock. It is currently 2:13 a.m. This thing, hopefully, tonight, will be driving. Give her a start up. Sounds fine now. I think I just need a second to warm up there. It's good. Now we gotta try and drive it. All right, guys, little update. We tried putting it into drive and it still doesn't go into first gear, so that was the problem before. Now, the next plan is the one main ground wire we found was extremely corroded, and that could still be causing all the codes. So that's what we have to find next. Replace that. That could fix it all, maybe not, but we'll see. It's just chasing the problem until we find it. That's our next thing we're gonna do. Let's go get that wire, replace it, and see if this thing will drive. Last night, the GOAT Kamal swapped the whole engine harness, started the car up, and the issue was not fixed. Now, I read some of your guys' comments, and in the last video, we did buy a battery that is not OEM. Apparently, these are really sensitive, and that still could be causing some of the codes. The battery that we may need to buy is like $2,000, so we're probably gonna have to bite the bullet and do it, and then that could fix it. Plus, we also found that the main grounding grounding wire underneath was pretty corroded, so that could also be the issue. That plus the battery could be the issue to this car right now. And overall, if we want this car to be smooth, it's good we found those issues, and it's good we changed them out. Sure, it did take a lot of time, and sure, that may not have actually fixed the problem, but it'll fix future problems nonetheless. So now the plan is to get that grounding wire, get a new battery. Hopefully that works. A lot of you guys' comments as well have been saying to build the car, and I'm completely down, honestly. If you guys want to see it, I'm down to do a series on this car. These cars are super dope and so much potential for aftermarket support to make it look insane. So any suggestions as well, let me know in the comments. The one thing I learned about BMWs is they are very particular. You have to get the exact battery the car needs, or else it won't even run properly, which is unbelievable. With my Nissan, I can literally just plug in a battery and go. But with these, you have to code it in and have the exact battery. So my buddy let us borrow his M4 battery as a test. Now, before spending $2,000 on a BMW battery, we are going to take another battery and test if this changed anything. All right, we're stealing the battery.
You're you too, bro.
All right, let's start it up. See if the codes come back. We just cleared them. Startup still sounds a little bit weird, man. Takes a minute for it to start idling correctly, so that's an issue. Did it go right to second?
Yeah.
It's gotta be the grounding, right? That wire's so cooked. We're gonna attempt to drive the car now and see if it's in limp mode and see what happens. Before, we broke a coolant line, so we're topping it up with some coolant right now. Throw that shit in there.
This is all distilled water for the video.
At least it's not Dasani. That shit would literally kill the car probably. We'll see if it's still in limp mode when we drive it. We lost a ton of codes by just putting the OEM battery in. We went from 35 codes to 18, so that's not bad, I guess. We're bleeding the coolant system. So apparently on BMWs, you can put the AC down and then crank the gas pedal and that bleeds the system.
Or put the heat all the way up. The car cannot be in eco mode. Switch on low beam headlights. Push down the accelerator to the floor for 10 seconds. The engine must not be started. And we should hear it go. It's like a...
Oh, that scared the fuck out of me. Oh my god. I say we take it for a spin now.
The battery terminals aren't connected, so don't rip it.
Are you sure you should drive this? It's in second gear still.
I don't know, try taking it. Just quick, around the block.
Alright, we're driving it for the first time. Wait, hold on, it's kind of driving.
I'm literally like almost flooring.
Actually. At least it's moving. Come on now.
Doesn't go into third though.
Doesn't go into third? Try it. No shifting. Huh. Doesn't go into third yet. That ground wire is still really bad.
Low voltage codes after a body swap. This is a big clue. It can trigger limp mode. ECT relies heavily on stable voltage. If you install a new battery but didn't register it, car may have, whatever.
So we're leading back to that ground cable again.
We're at the local hardware store and we're looking for a ground wire today. And what we're gonna do with that ground wire is hopefully fix the whole car. If this doesn't fix the car, then it might be a little issue. We have the ground strap. Let's see if this fixes it. We're thinking this could be one of the last things other than the battery. We tested the other M4 battery, got rid of a ton of codes. So now we're getting rid of this ground cable. Apparently it's really quick to do, but we'll see because the shit's in the way.
All right.
Oh, baby.
Colin's got the
Oh
ground
my
strap
god. Let me twist this shit off.
It's right here, it's right here. So
Oh my god, look at that.
This is your ground strap.
Burnt. So that's what was causing all the issues, right?
I'm not gonna say right to that.
And now this is the new one.
So this is the old ground strap. The new ground strap's gonna be a bit longer, but that's okay, we'll figure it out. This one's all green, as you can see, and this is what it should look like. So we're gonna install this right now.
We installed the ground strap and it was time to find out if this would actually do anything to the car.
All right, we got the new ground in. Let's give it a start, and then we're gonna check what codes, and this could fix it all. Good startup. Right to second gear too. Still goes just a second. Okay guys, so even after all that, the car is not fixed. The new ground, the new battery, still no luck, which is unfortunate. It starts up good now every time. Every startup is good now. So that's a good sign.
So your eccentric shaft, right? Your Valvetronic system has a little motor and it's a gear, right? But when that gear breaks, your eccentric shaft just keeps churning and it drains all your power. So then you're gonna get drivetrain malfunction, you're gonna have low voltage codes everywhere. So I've actually done one of these on an M55 535. The only problem is if you drive it while it's draining, eventually it will kill your ECU. So that's what happens, so.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, so.
That's bad. So you think it's the servo motor?
Servo motor and eccentric shaft for your Valvetronic.
Eccentric shaft and servo motor.
So that doesn't sound very cheap.
Brother, we're driving an M. We think that shit's gonna be cheap.
As long as it still is the cheapest F80 by the end of this, because this does have, it has to still be worth it, you know? There's that sound again. So that right there makes you think it's the servo motor and the eccentric shaft. That's the end of today's video. Next video, I think we're gonna have this car running. But subscribe if you're new. If you guys have any suggestions on what we should do to this thing or any possible issues that could be wrong with this thing, let me know in the comments. Honestly, I think we're super close to getting this thing going. So stay tuned for the next video. I'll catch you boys later. Subscribe if you're new. Have a great day. Peace.